welcome to the Scumm Bar Podcast, episode 44, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, books, whose lines it anyways, and everything in between. I'm your host, Mattbrush, and with me today, a special guest. Oh, his name is...
Anth0z.
Anth0z. Anth0z.
Hi, Mattbrush. Okay, so I was going to mention, I didn't say anything last time because I think maybe what was going on through my head when we recorded last? Oh, because I wasn't feeling very well, so my head was kind of all over the place. But then I realized later on that I think during the intro you did start with the Vlad thing, but this time you didn't.
This time I didn't. I was hoping you wouldn't catch that, but you did. I ran out of Vlad names.
there's only so many Vlad names. If you played League of Legends, you could have said Vladimir.
Oh,
I mean, you could still say it, even though if you don't play the game. But
didn't I say one? Oh, Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but this is a different Vladimir. This is like one name, kind of like Madonna champion for Vladimir. No last name that I know of. Anyway, just wanted you to know that I caught it. That's all.
Okay, well we switched. We're switching now. We're gonna find a new theme eventually.
So. W.
But that's all I got. Anth0z, would you like to hear a joke?
Usually.
Okay. Oh, I had one, and now I lost it. Oh, wait, I've got it. What is a pirate's least favorite letter? And I promise you won't get this one. What's a pirate's least favorite letter?
A copyright letter.
How did you get it?
Yes!
No! The punchline is, Dear Sir or Madame, your IP address has been flagged for illegally downloading movies. Sincerely, the internet provider. Wow!
Nice.
Good job!
Wow, I can't believe I got that.
I 100% thought there was no way you were going to get that. Oh my gosh. That was very good.
I figured that it couldn't have been something to do with the actual alphabet. Like, it must have been something like outside of that. I'm like, okay, what does a pirate have to do with like outside of the alphabet? And I'm like, okay, well, a letter. I can get some sort of letter in the mail. Who would get a letter if you're a pirate? What's a modern pirate? Oh, somebody who... Yeah, so I
am incredibly proud of this moment. I'm crying tears of joy. This is a proud moment for me. You've done very well. I think we just gotta end it right there. Thanks for watching, folks. That was great.
We should just have one episode where it's just a pirate joke and then that's it.
3-minute long podcast. I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate that.
I think so too. Yeah. After all of our really long episodes,
we're just rambling about Star Wars and probably Harry Potter.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. Anyway.
Where I pretend not to be a man-child and then I prove myself wrong within like 4 minutes. All right, let's move on then. Let's go on to What's New With You. That's not the topic name, but that's what I'm going to call it right now. What's new with you?
Okay, well, I'm getting... Wait, so this is actually like this is a segment. Like, we're not doing ye old news separately. We're going to...
No, this is separate. This is What's New With You.
Okay.
It says in my notes, what's new with you?
I don't have your notes. Okay, so we just came back from Whistler. We went to the Scandinav Spa, and I don't know. Have you been to Scandinav Spa before?
A Scandinav spot?
Scandinav Spa.
Scandinav Spa.
Yeah,
no,
so
that's interesting. You said that.
It's a spa in Whistler that is, I guess it kind of replicates Scandinavian, like Scandinavian spas, but they have like Nordic bath waters. Okay, what you do is like they have these baths out in the back where there's a mixture of hot baths, cold baths, and then like kind of relaxation rooms. So the point of it is it's supposed to like it gives you health benefits for your like overall your circulation. So you do 15 minutes of hot bath, and you're either in like a hot tub or like a sauna or a steam room, and that is supposed to open up your pores and get the toxins out. And then after that, you do 5 to 20 seconds of a cold Nordic bath. So you either jump in like really cold water, or some of them have like waterfalls, so you can stand under that for 5 to 20 seconds. And I think what that does is it seals all of your pores in some way after all the toxins had been released. And I remember from kinesiology that when you're exposed to more cold waters and you're your blood vessels restrict, it causes your heart to have to pump faster to get blood to your extremities more. So it actually trains your heart to pump blood, like to be stronger. So if you've ever gone for a massage or somebody told you like there are health benefits from like taking a shower and doing like 30 seconds of like cold water and kind of going back to warm after, then that would be the reason why. It's like for training your circulation.
Right.
Anyway, so after you do that, the 5 to 20 seconds of the cold bath, then you do 15 minutes of in like a relaxation room. And so it's just like a warmed room where you can just like sit relaxing, just wait people. You're not allowed to bring your phones into these baths.
Oh, good.
You're not supposed to be talking out loud. It's supposed to be silent. So it's like quiet time. And
that's nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. It's, I don't know of many places around Vancouver that do that, but Scandinav Spa is one of the most popular. And yeah, that's located by Whistler. So we, and fortunately, they are one of the few spas that also have RMTs available, but you have to book those like months in advance. Like they get booked up really quickly. So anyway, yeah, I recommend doing that. It's a really good way to spend like half a day or the whole day if you want to just keep cycling through the hot, cold, and relaxation room. Because like we ended up doing that for a couple hours, I think. But I'm sure people stay for even longer. Like one cycle of doing the hot, cold, and a relaxation room was already half an hour.
Oh yeah.
Well, give or take, and then you have to walk from bath to bath or whatever. But yeah, so I would say next time you get a chance to, with your health benefits, go for an RMT, and then by booking the RMT, you automatically get access to the baths after.
Wow.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty good actually.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's just a ferry ride away for me, so not bad at all. But my work, I work in IT, so I don't actually get any kind of pains or aches or anything all that much. I've been pretty fortunate actually. My body's pretty good. I haven't really broken anything. I don't really get any stresses anywhere, so I'm pretty limber. But I do work IT, so my neck every now and then might hurt a little bit. Nothing really that bad, but I would get a massage maybe twice a year with work just to kind of fix if there's anything wrong with my neck. I honestly don't really feel much, but just in case there is. Then over the weekend, my fiance and I had to get rid of all the dirt and compost stuff from the backyard that we were trying to like get rid of because we were doing a whole landscaping thing back there. And in doing so, we got rid of 1.2 tons of dirt and garden waste and took it off to the dump. And it was awesome. I was so stoked to get rid of it, but we had to do a lot of heavy lifting. She really hurt herself, so she had to stop. She can't do too much heavy lifting, so she had to stop after a little bit. And then her dad and I had to finish everything. And then after that, I took we have a bunch of concrete bags. And I think when I first moved and we were starting up the podcast again, I was talking about moving concrete bags, but I had to move them again just this weekend. And just that combination with the dirt and everything and my back, I just suddenly felt my back. And I was like, oh no, this is what everyone talks about when they're feeling their back. And I was like, this sucks.
Shoot.
So, for the first time since I've been back on the island, I had my first massage today, just before this podcast, actually.
Nice.
And I went and it rocked. It rocked my socks off. So, if anybody out there...
So you kept your socks on before you did it?
I did. Yes.
Okay, and it rocked it off.
And then it rocked them right off.
Right off. Okay.
So anybody out there who has not had a massage recently or ever, and you're thinking, I should probably get a massage, or maybe you're not thinking about it, get it, because it's awesome, and it makes you feel so much better, and I don't know, it's a good idea, and I feel great. So, pro massages.
And your work covers it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
My work covers up to $1 million with massages. It's kind of ridiculous.
Per person?
Per person. You have a total per capita of $1 million. So go ahead and have fun, is what it says.
And so each session is covered 100% then.
No. I pay $1 every session I go to.
Actually?
Yeah, it covers all the way up for an hour-long massage at this place. It covers enough of that to do that it costs $1 for the massage.
What? Okay.
Yeah, but then my work, it's like the total, like in total of massages that you get is up to $1 million. So it's a weird policy, but whatever, I don't mind, so I'll take it.
That seems still pretty good though. If you only have to pay $1 out of your own pocket,
that's it. Yeah, and really I can take these massages as much as I want. And it's $1 each one, so yeah, I'll keep that going.
Cool. Okay,
I'm gonna try to do once a month, but yeah, you go ahead.
You should do way more than once a month.
Yeah, well, once a month's pretty good for me. Twice a year to once a month is a good step, I think. But
Okay, all right. Well, you should at least do a follow-up, just saying.
Yeah.
You might as well use it up.
I have another one next Tuesday. Hey!
Nice. Good. Okay, so the temperatures of the cold baths range from 12.5 to 15 degrees. So
Celsius. We gotta let these people know. These people are from California, Anth0z. They have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes,
They're Fahrenheiters.
Celsius.
They believe in Fahrenheit.
So 12.5 to Celsius to C to F. So that is approximately 54.5 Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit 9/11. Fahrenheit. Ye old news, where we talk about things that are interesting and cool.
Perfect. Well, I guess I already started, so why don't you go?
Anth0z, I'm gonna go. You know, I'm gonna just go ahead and start telling you news. I don't know my news. I don't think I have news. I have news, but I don't remember what the news is. So you go ahead.
I got a few. One of them is going to be your news because, well, I mean, it's our news. Anyways,
we're having a baby.
Okay, so I saw recently that Williams-Sonoma, so they're kind of like a higher end, like home decor store company or whatever.
Okay.
And they recently collaborated, I guess, with Star Wars and Instant Pot. So they're selling Star Wars Instant Pots.
So like BB-8 Instant Pots.
So yeah, they're the same shape, same functions and everything, and they still come in their whatever respectable sizes, but they have designs that embody Darth Vader, Chewbacca, BB-8, R2D2, and maybe like a stormtrooper or something like that. I really want the R2D2 one. It just looks so cool. But
R2D2 would be kind of cool for an Instant Pot.
R2D2 would be great for like anything, like a trash can, a computer tower.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
A car. I don't know, like a shopping cart. Anyway, so I tried to look it up, but I think it's only available in the States right now, unfortunately. But if it become available in Canada, I'm very likely to get it, or I would really, really want to. I'd have to run it by my wife.
Do you need an Instant
Pot? Probably say no. I don't need an Instant Pot because we have one. But if we were to get this one, I would try to sell ours. Because that would be so cool to have that. Anyway, that's that news.
Okay.
Did you look it up?
No, I didn't look it up.
Okay.
I can picture an R2D2 Instant Pot in my head, and that's probably what it looks like. That's good enough for me.
Perfect. In other news, so Samsung is joining the foldable phones game.
Oh, this dumb.
I
don't know. I'm coming from a guy who still has the Samsung 7, and I'm very happy with it, and I really don't want to move to any other phone. I just want to stay with this phone forever. Unfortunately, I got a crack on it, and it's getting a little bit bigger, and I don't want to change. I'm getting scared.
Well, in all fairness, it's probably more worth it for you to keep your phone as long as you can, as long as it works, right?
Yeah, I mean, I bought it outright, and then my plan is really cheap. So once this one breaks, I'll have to buy another phone outright to stay on the plan. So I don't want it to break.
Yeah, well, I'm doing the similar thing. Like I bought my past two phones, the OnePlus 5T and OnePlus 7, outright, and I'm really happy with my phones actually. So
you bought your phone not that long ago, right? 6 months ago, 9 months ago?
Oh, less than that. The OnePlus 7 I got in August, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, either August or September, but I'm really happy with how it works. I know it was already like a model late, like the 7 Pro had already been released. And I think there was already like a big jump in terms of the functionality, like the front-facing camera and stuff like that. But I think just one of the biggest things that I really like about my phone is no bloatware. It comes like fairly clean and empty, and like just as customizable as any other Android phone. So it works great right off the bat. I don't have to worry about syncing a whole bunch of like Samsung apps and blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, which is nice. So. But anyway, so Samsung One, I think, is what they're tentatively going to call this phone. So, I don't know if you've seen any images of the foldable phones that are coming out. Actually, no. You know what? I think there are already some that exist in Asia, like maybe by Xiaomi and Huawei. I think they already have the foldable phones.
I saw the Huawei one. Yeah. When I saw that, it's weird. It's weird.
It is kind of weird.
Maybe it's nice. Maybe people like it. I like flip phones, and this is kind of like a flip phone, I guess. But it's weird.
Yeah, it is. And I think Motorola Razr is coming back. Like they've got their new smart flip phone. I guess that is either coming out soon or it's already out. So I guess maybe we're just gonna see a wave of a bunch of flip phones and see how that goes.
I miss the feeling of putting your thumb in like the little thing and just flipping it up.
Oh, it felt so good, right?
And also texting was the Text 9. What was that thing called?
Oh, T9.
T9, thank you. T9. Yeah, I missed that. I was really quick with T9. I'm not as quick with the things.
Quick with T9. I was quicker with T9 than I am with smartphone QWERTY.
Yeah,
even after like a decade of using. Yeah, right. So
I know. Yeah, no, I love T9. You know what's funny is I'm pretty sure we can just do T9.
Well, we can, but it's different from like the T9 back then when they were on like Sony Ericsson or Nokia phones where you actually have a button to push down.
Sure,
with a spring,
physical buttons. Yeah,
like the tactical buttons, right? Like that.
Then again,
good.
actually, if I had a QWERTY keyboard with physical button, no, it's just too much. It's just too small.
Well, okay, what I liked about the T9 phones is what I could, like, I didn't have to look at my phone ever, and I knew exactly what I was typing. Because my thumb could just navigate through, like, the 9 different digits, or 8 different digits, actually. I think. Pretty sure it's 8, right?
I think I had to utilize all of them, right?
No, because I think ABCD started on 2.
Did it?
No, I don't know.
Did it?
I think ABC is on 2.
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
3. Anyway,
news. There's got to be more news out there.
There's news. Yes, we talked about it. It
right. Yes.
It rhymes with Cheska Myler Duck.
Kreska Byler Crunk.
Almost. I'll try again. Wesla Nyberluck.
Cybertruck.
Yes, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah, Cybertruck. That was kind of funny. Yeah, watch the video. I probably had the same reaction as everybody else. What the hell is this thing? Yeah. It looks funny. It looks like a low polygon video game. And the breaking of the windows was kind of funny. But then I probably also had the same reaction as everybody where within 20 minutes I'm like, yeah, but how good is it? I wonder if it's good. You know? Like, after not that long, I'm just like, but is it good though? But do I watch it though?
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't take long before I was suddenly like, I want a truck. And I actually am in the moment where I'm like, I bought an SUV when I first got to the island, and I'm like, ooh, an SUV is not a car and it's not a truck. It's just kind of waffling in the middle there, you know? It's not as fuel efficient as a car, and it's not a truck. So it's just kind of like the worst of both worlds. So in my mind, I'm like, I need a pickup truck. I need to get like a Ford F-150. But then looking at Teslas, I was like, that would be fun.
It would be fun, right?
I doubt I'd ever get it, but it'd be fun.
I don't know if you ever played this game. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, but there was this old Macintosh game that I played in computer class in elementary school back in 90.
Computer class. Man, you have dated yourself so much this podcast.
I know. Anyway, that's
computer
fine.
Class. Oh,
I'm a bit older than people.
Oregon Trail.
I'm older than people that are younger than me. That's the thing. So anyway, the game that
mind is gravy.
The game that I'm referring to was called Spectre or Spectre Tanks, where you would play this like red, pretty much like a rectangle, and you would go around shooting different. Well, yeah, the tanks were all different, like vector shapes. So one was like, there was like this yellow triangle, and that was a tank. And there were these other like green, what were they? Like squares? Circles? Domes? I don't know.
It had squares?
Anyway, the Cybertruck reminded me of that. And I didn't actually watch the video, but the thumbnail that I saw had the 2 cracks in the windows. Yeah. And I figured, like, actually, my thoughts were, I wonder if they're trying to show that the windows are just, like, they can crack, but they won't, like, you can't penetrate them completely. And then I realized later, like, no, it was actually something that went wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
know. I was trying to figure out, I was like, what are they trying to say?
Yeah.
Because it looks like something went wrong. And then I realized, oh, no, something just went wrong. Are you sure your game was not called Spectre 3D? I'm looking at photos of... Oh, no. There's an even further one. Looks like they remade the game you're talking about and called it Spectre 3D, but I see Spectre in 1990.
Oh, Wait, Spectre 1990 might be the... Okay, maybe I am talking about
Spectre 3D. It's a red
3D.
polygon tank, and it's got a square, and it's got a yellow triangle.
Oh, let's see. Spectre 3D update. Yeah. So you're in a green... Oh, you're...
Peninsula Gameworks is who made Spectre.
Right. You shoot the red ones. You're not the red ones. You're a green tank.
Oh, so you are talking about Spectre 3D.
Sure. I'm going to send you an image, and that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's two very different games here, but they're both the same game, but one's an updated version of the other one. Spectre 3D is a remake of Spectre, it looks like, made by Peninsula Games in 1990.
Okay, yeah, that
Velocity and Peninsula Games.
Yeah, then that's the one I'm talking about.
In 1990. And that one there is pretty old looking. Did you ever play that Star Wars arcade game where it's all polygons? But it was like... Oh, that game was amazing. So good. You played as a X-Wing. X-Wing, is that what they're called?
Yes.
Y-Wing, X-Wing. You played as an X-Wing guy, and you're fighting all the TIE fighters. And it was like one of the best Star Pilot games that I played as a young kid. And that it was all just shapes. It was just polygon shapes, but it was so good. You make and you see them blow up and go, and
cool.
You would actually have to go and like shoot down all the TIE fighters. It's really, really good. Type in Star Wars.
I did Star Wars polygon game 90s.
Old. I just did Star Wars Spaceship Old.
Is
That
it
was the
Star
worst
Wars
thing.
X-Wing Space Combat Simulator?
Let me find out. Star Wars X-Wing Space Combat Simulator. The second level was the trench run, and it was awesome. Does yours have like a HUD of the X-Wing?
Yes.
Not that one.
Okay.
It's much more primitive looking than that. It's really good. It was like just polygon shapes.
Star Wars 90s game. I don't know if I'm going to find this.
I think it's Star Wars Arcade Polygon. It was an arcade game. So there it is. There it is. I found it. It's got the HUD, but it's like red and blue for like the blasters. Yes, that game.
So cool.
It was so good. So like anybody at home, check it out. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back classic arcade game. Maybe that it was the Empire Strikes Back. I thought it was just called Star Wars made by Atari. Yeah, I see it here. It is just Star Wars made by Atari. It was an arcade game back in the day. And yeah, it was just polygon shapes, and you just shot TIE fighters and stuff and got to move around.
That's awesome.
And this game like created this whole like love of like plane shooter games for me. So I love any of those kinds of games where you're like in planes and try to shoot down other planes and do dogfights and everything. It's because of this game here that I really liked it. So
that's cool.
Looks really primitive. Like I was playing like Mario 64 while I was also playing this, and this was awesome. So
that actually looks really fun. I like that you could see the AT-ATs or AT-AT or whatever you call them.
Oh yeah. I forgot those level. Yeah, there's a few that like it was hard to even tell what was going on because it was just polygons everywhere, but it was still really, really good.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find you my most favorite. I think this is the one. My most favorite Star Wars arcade game ever, and I would play it every single time I went to the theaters. And I would play it all the way till the end because I played it so much that
was it the one where you have a lightsaber? It's 3D and like you kind of went. It wasn't like an arcade duel one.
Yeah.
It was Star Wars Trilogy Arcade Duel.
Yes, Star Wars Trilogy. Yeah.
That was a good one too.
Oh man, I love that game. I
Duel
love the fact that
Darth
you could fight Darth Vader and
yeah.
Oh man, it's so fun.
Yeah, man, that's a good one.
Trilogy Arcade. I want to get that from my home. Oh, I have a feeling. that Mattbrush.
Oh no, my tab crashed.
There's a microwave that's going on.
Tab crashed.
Oh, tab crashed. Well, I'm gonna keep recording, just in case.
I love the first reaction is microwave.
Something happens. Missed video call. Let's try it again. Okay, there we go. Hi.
I love how your first reaction is microwave.
Well, I just assumed, because like it completely froze. I'm like, oh, it must be a microwave.
No, I unplugged the microwave. It will not, I repeat, turn on during this.
Do you only unplug it for a podcast now?
No, I actually didn't unplug it. But
okay.
No, that was my fault. I opened up the Star Wars video while we were recording here, and I had too many tabs open. It literally said tab crashed, and then it crashed all my tabs.
Oh, I see.
So my bad. Sorry about that. Well, sorry
anyway,
everyone. You know, it's my computer's way of saying that we're going off topic so much that it broke.
That's true, but sorry, this is gonna be the last time I keep us off topic. So you know how I said I wanted the Star Wars Trilogy arcade game in my home?
Yep.
So I just found a picture of it existing in somebody's home. And it looks perfect.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, that's so nice. Don't you remember seeing that at the arcade and you'd be like, ah, like you have to play this.
I have to play it. And it's still at the theaters now. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
Like they
it's
just
so
didn't
nice
bother
looking.
to update. I guess it's that good. It's just
That's one of the
such a good
best
game.
ones. Star Wars Trilogy Arcade.
So good.
You know what? Does this also have a Starfighter in it? I think it does.
What do
I
you
think
mean?
this also has like a Starfighter where like you get into like the pilot and like you start shooting all the other ships and stuff. I think there's a level in here where you shoot other ships.
Most likely, there's like a bit of every level.
Yeah, I think this is like the culmination of like a bunch of good Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, because you get in the speeders in from Endor.
Yeah.
And you do like Battle of Hoth. Like you have to wrap around the AT-AT legs and stuff like that.
Guys, I am not advocating for people to download MAME and then download the ROM of Star Wars Trilogy, but if you did, you could have a lot of fun
This
with
game
this
is great.
and trip down memory lane.
Yep.
No one's suggesting you should. Just saying if you did, you might have a lot of fun. Anyways, other news. We barely talked about Cybertruck, but yes, I saw Cybertruck. I think it looks good. I don't know. It does look dumb. I'll agree it looks dumb, and at the same time, I think a lot of people are going to buy it, and it might be the future of trucks. That being said, my favorite truck is still the F-150. I think it's beautiful, and I would probably buy an F-150 today instead of a Tesla. But
Okay.
you know what? It's still a pickup truck. You know, I props to an electric car company for making a pickup truck and actually making it what looks like it could be a decent pickup truck. I saw the video of it towing the F-150. That was really crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention. Well, I'll mention that actually later because that'll be part of my topic. But what I saw was what I saw that intrigued me was there were attachments to add like a canopy and a bunch of like barbecue attachments or something like that.
I saw that. That looked like a weird. That was dumb. I thought it looked weird.
It does look really weird, but at the same time, like it makes me want to do it.
I think it's because like they can't make up their mind who's buying the truck, and like for me, like I need a pickup truck. Or like at least my fiance and I, we need a pickup truck. There's so many things we do around the house where we're trying to haul a bunch of stuff either to the house or away from the house, and a truck is just so handy for it. For me, you know, extra features on a Tesla pickup truck, I don't need barbecue sets. I need like more space, or I need something that's going to help me like raise up the canopy or something, you know, like I need other things like that to help me with the stuff I'm using a truck for, not necessarily excuses for buying a truck. Like it's
That's
weird.
fair.
Like
That's
the
fair.
barbecue set is like a, hey honey, I just bought a new Tesla. Oh, which one'd you pick out? Oh, the truck version. And she goes, why did you buy a truck version? We live in a city. And he goes, it's got a barbecue kit, so we can take the kids barbecuing out and camping. And then she goes, oh, you're the best. Like I feel like Tesla was like, oh man, they're never gonna buy this in cities. Like
But in all fairness, that does make sense. Like, you don't have to go buy your own barbecue. You could just take that one out when you want to go camping.
you sure can. And I'm gonna buy the F-150.
Okay, well, anyway, that's that. But why don't we actually use that to go into my topic, because it does have to do with not specifically Tesla, but it has to do with I guess like who it is that we end up trusting for us to make our decisions.
I like where this is going, and I say topic number one. Ding, ding, ding,
So,
ding, ding, ding.
When I talk about trust, it's not just referring to any one person, but it's also referring to maybe like the manufacturer. So in this case, like talking about Tesla being the manufacturer, and then Elon Musk being the person, the figurehead that is the forefront of anything Tesla news, right?
The muskiest.
The muskiest man of all. Does he have a cologne yet?
The Muskinator.
Like
Muskin Raider! He's a Muskin Raider!
I mean, like, it could just be called, like, Musk of Elon or something like that. Like, is it
really
Musk
can.
one of those words that they usually
It
put
should just
on
be
cologne bottles?
Elon's Musk.
Elon's Musk.
Oh, you got Musk on? Yeah, I got Elon's.
I love that. Elon's Musk. Okay. And it's just like the cologne bottle is like his body.
Yeah.
And like the spray comes out of his mouth. Anyway,
They
so
could probably just the label could probably just say Elon's with the apostrophe, and everyone would get it. Like, I think everyone would understand.
I think people would probably, yeah, for sure. Okay, so anyway, What made me think about this topic was because even though they had the kind of, I guess, the flop for the presentation, they still had.
I don't know if it was a flop. They sold like 150,000 units or something.
Well, exactly.
Didn't they?
That's the thing. They already had 150,000 pre-orders.
Yeah.
Like, despite, I think I saw that their stocks went down a little bit, but I'm sure
I
this
think
is
it's to be
going to climb
expected.
right back up. Yeah.
Like, watch a phone release. I'm sure Apple stocks have gone down when they've released when the iPad came out, Apple stocks went down. And then look at the iPad now and look at Apple now, right? So
Yeah. So, like, that kind of leads me to believe that maybe, obviously, like, a big thing of it is loyalty. But is the loyalty to... Is it to the brand? Is it to Elon? Could it be to Elon? Could it be to the manufacturer? Or is it still like a status thing? Like, there's all these factors that can go into like why it is that one person would bother to invest in this company or in any company for that matter. So for Apple, for example, like I feel like that is I feel like Apple is a really big status thing, and obviously because like their products they're definitely on the pricier side compared to other products that you can get that do similar or that have similar functions. Samsung nowadays is kind of comparable, so I guess like in that boat it's like the Android Apple kind of war. But who else is there? I mean, even thinking about Apple versus Windows, for example, like there's Bill Gates versus Steve Jobs kind of thing. So, but then behind it is also like the power of Windows itself, and people really enjoying what Windows can offer versus like Apple's UI and Apple's UX, for example. So I just nowadays I kind of wonder more so like how much are we supposed to be putting trust into just whatever it is that they tell us versus like how much we should just judge for ourselves, because ultimately we're not going to know how much we enjoy something until we try it ourselves, right? Like we can deny that that electric cars are the cars of the future, but then the moment we try it, we might think like, oh wow, this is great, and now I'm saving a whole bunch of money on gas or by not buying gas, and then in the future maybe this will be like they're just going to update this more and more, and it's going to be an even better long-term investment. But I didn't know that until I actually got into it, right? So those are just some of my thoughts. Does anything spark your mustache over there?
Not for much longer. That mustache spark will be lost in 5 more days.
Yeah,
this coming Sunday. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I find it interesting, but you kind of like you've hit the nail on the head already. Like I don't know. There's a lot of reasons for loyalty. There's a lot of reasons for staying with a brand. Some of it's just stubbornness. Sometimes, like I think a lot of Apple customers today are probably just with Apple because they were since Steve Jobs was around, making really innovative ideas, and they don't want to admit that the whole quality of the Apple products seems to be changing. I won't say it's getting worse, but it's changed. It doesn't seem to be as innovative as it used to be.
You could probably say that about Android, like pretty much any product at this point, right?
As a Samsung user, I feel that way right now. I've been Samsung since S3, so I bought the S3, I bought the S5, and I bought the S7, and I loved all three phones. I thought they were great, and I was really I was a big advocate for Samsung. Then looking at, I think it was S10, when I finally saw the iOS, when I finally saw the OS for S10. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And like, it looked really Apple-ish. It looked really iPhone-ish. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that like the whole brand had shifted. And when I finally looked into it, I was like, oh, that's kind of sad, because I would have been a huge proponent of Samsung and like their whole operating system and the way the company works. And suddenly I was like, oh, they're just doing things the exact same way Apple was. I just didn't notice until now, kind of thing, right? So. So it's weird. So people stay with brands out of stubbornness, or they stay with brands because of actual like loving the products and liking it. They stay with brands because they like what the brands do politically, or they stay with brands because they like what they do economically, or something, right? Like there's so many different. Maybe somebody just has stocks in a company. They just on a whim bought stocks in a company, and therefore that company's their guy. So they're gonna buy everything from that company too. So there's so many different reasons why people will stay with a company, but. From my own experience, I try to evaluate those kinds of decisions. I used to buy Lush all the time, for example, for my fiance every Christmas. And then I realized at one point that I didn't like their advertising. Their advertising bothered me. And then I realized, I was like, why am I buying their product if their advertising bothers me, So eventually I decided to make the change, and I just changed and bought a different product.
Oh, so you weren't actually buying it for her because she wanted it? Like that was just your own
she does.
thinking?
She likes it, and she would want it, so I'd buy it. But then after a while, I was like, well, I don't necessarily want to give them money. I'm sure I can find a similar product at the same value from a different company that offers it, right? So
yeah.
So therefore, I did. And then same with. Oh, there's something else. Oh,
wait. What's your alternative to Lush though?
The Body Shop.
Oh, are they comparable? Because
Well,
I don't
not-
know. Lush is kind of
definitely-
like all organics and stuff, right?
Definitely not in all aspects, but the Body Shop has a bunch of products there. At least when the one in Metrotown Mall when I was shopping, they had a bunch of products there that were comparable to the ones I was grabbing for her for Christmas.
Okay.
So I was able to get similar like products from there for her. Definitely not in all aspects though. I used the Body Shop and I used Bath and Body Works, but then now I don't like Bath and Body Works as much, so I was trying to find a different one for Bath and Body Works. So yeah, not because of advertising. That was because of ingredients, and I'd have to ask my fiance on that one. She educated me on something about the ingredients on that one. So
she agitated you about something?
Educated me.
I'm sure you said educated, but I'm like, yeah, it's not. Yeah, she agitated
educated. Yeah, so I mean that all changed my mind sometimes based on just knowledge I get on a company. Other times, so with TELUS and Shaw, we explained this on a few podcasts ago, but our internet providers here in Canada, we really only have a choice between TELUS or Shaw. We have two internet providers. One is government controlled, and the other one is like a private company. And you can make your choice between each one, but regardless, you're probably going to get similar service from either one.
And nowadays we have more. We have like Novus and like some other whatever, like smaller.
Well, the major, I guess I guess that doesn't do all of Canada justice. In the major cities in Canada, you have your choice of like smaller company providers if you want to. Yeah. Like I don't know Novus, but I'm assuming Novus is available for Vancouver only.
I couldn't say. I don't know for sure,
like,
but it was
here on
available.
Vancouver Island, for example. There's no other providers. You can get maybe something for like Victoria if you wanted, but it's only going to cover within Victoria or something. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because usually what they're doing is they're grabbing the, let's say the. Oh my gosh!
Network
lost it.
Towers.
Yes, I've lost all my terminology. They're grabbing the.
Network.
Fiber. They're grabbing the fiber.
Fiber. Eat your
They're getting the fiber. They're stealing the fiber. No, they're like taking the network from the other companies, and then they're buying it from them and selling it to you at a different rate. Usually, that's what these companies are doing. They don't have their own towers or their own network. Their grid is based on the other companies.
Okay.
It's the same with cell phone providers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because like Virgin Mobile is running off of like the bell towers and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes, and all that. So, anyways, but recently, I've been on Shaw for years now, a whole decade even. Let's say. And,
decade is like the word of this podcast. Decade.
That's why I used it. It's our word of the day.
Decade.
That's our word of the day.
Word of the day. I'm writing this. I'm writing hashtag notes down so that when and if I tweet the videos or the podcast,
you'll know
it'll include these hashtags. So watch out for those.
So I switched to TELUS because TELUS came to my door, physically to my door, knocked on it, and wanted to tell me that they put fiber into the whole neighborhood.
Like TELUS came. It wasn't like a person, but like
the whole company showed up. Every employee, a representative from TELUS came by.
The mascot came, which is like a giant hashtag now. Isn't it?
I don't know.
It was always some sort of like different animal, but now TELUS. Okay, sidetrack. We don't care. Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
Keep going.
The TELUS representative came by and told me all about the new TELUS products and the benefits I've been getting from it, and then showed me my speeds from Shaw and the speeds you could get at TELUS. And at first I was like, oh, it's just a sales pitch, I don't want to listen. But after a while when he's talking, something in my mind realized, like, when was the last time Shaw came to my door? When was the last time Shaw wanted to tell me about the service that they provide for me and wanted to show me something that they had done for me? So I was like, you know what? I think it's about time. We could also get the same service for a cheaper rate. So we decided to change to TELUS, and we did. And from then on, it's been fine. Like, I've been happy with our internet, but... yeah, it's funny. It made me think totally differently about Shaw, and all it was a different company providing their opinion. So that's another thing that can also change your customer loyalty is just another company asking a straight up normal question like, when was the last time you evaluated this? And you go, I don't know. And then you realize that like that company might not be caring enough, especially something you're paying monthly for that provides your whole house with something. That company might not care enough to then continue telling you why you're with them, right? So
that's really interesting. Like, I wonder, because if you're saying that, wait, that was TELUS that did that?
That came to my house, yeah.
Yeah. All of TELUS, right? So
all of them.
So
the whole company.
I'm trying to picture if anybody from like Windows or a representative of Android or Apple or somebody from Tesla, like cold calling, or not cold call, I guess going up to individuals and asking them like, oh, well, what do you think of our service? And here's what we're doing new for you. Like, I can't really picture
There's
anybody
a lot of different ways that those companies do. Like an update on a phone is a way that a company communicates with its end user.
Exactly. Yeah.
An update on a TELUS product is also a way that it communicates with its end user. An email sent to you about news happening on the, like, I've got like, let's say, okay, we host our podcast on Anchor. Anchor has sent me more updates on what the company is doing than Shaw has. And I spend money on Shaw and I spend $0 on Anchor. So it's funny. It's like, how can this little podcast hosting site be telling me more about what they're doing for me than what my internet provider is doing, you know? So interesting stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't want monopolies. You want multiple companies doing a bunch of stuff, constantly trying to compete with each other. You don't want one YouTube. You don't want one Facebook. You want competition.
Well, okay, so speaking of competition, that actually makes me...
Competition. That's the new word of the day. Competition.
Competition? I didn't say competition.
No, but I like it. We're just...
Oh, okay. All right, well, speaking of competition...
subscribe. Everyone subscribe, please.
So that just... It makes me excited to see what other kind of competitors that Tesla will have. Because like they're obviously, you know, making great strides in terms of
great strides.
I guess innovation, or well, yeah, it is innovative, like what they're doing, right? Like no other company has been able to set up like charging stations like all over the place, like proprietary ones, right? Other than like the third party ones that will charge for multiple lines of cars, but and now they just unveiled the Cybertruck, so you know they're definitely making great leaps. They're striding and they're leaping.
One small step for man, one great leap for Tesla.
One smashed window for Tesla.
Cybertruck.
Oh wait! I wanted to mention. Before I forget. That Elon's Musk did mention that I think he tweeted afterwards with a video showing that they were throwing the same steel ball at the window prior to the unveiling, and when they threw it at the window, it wasn't breaking. So I'm not sure what that says about the window. Maybe it just has like a certain like spot. The window has an HP bar, I guess, like at a certain part.
Or it's like a baby. It's just got that one spot that you don't want to hit the baby on. You know, it's got that soft spot that'll ruin the baby's life.
The cranium hasn't developed yet.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So
don't hit the baby.
Could be a number of reasons, but I mean, we saw the video, so it does work, and at the least, like the ball didn't go completely through the window, which is kind of a good thing.
Not that it needs to be defended, but I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, but you throw a ball at a Ford F-150's window, you're gonna get the same thing. Like, it's not like it's really all that different than a regular truck at that moment. So what they're saying is they have an electric truck that's the same as an F-150, but it's electric. That's already pretty dang sweet. So I was happy about that already. I mean, you throw a ball at any window, you know, it's going to do that. So I was like, okay, shocker. So it was like, you know, I would have been amazed. It's like a magic trick that went wrong, but you're like, I would have been pretty amazed if that happened, but it's okay that it didn't. Like, I'm not that sad about it. So
yeah. Well, the rest was pretty cool. Taking the sledgehammer to the side of the door, and that didn't do a thing.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. You know, I know at least in Alberta, like everyone's got a pickup truck there, and within like weeks, they've already like got a crack in their windshield is what I'm trying to say. In their windshield, they've already got like a crack in it because in Alberta, there's always so many rocks that get kicked up when these guys are around the oil rigs and stuff. So it's really common. So I mean, honestly, if the Tesla truck's even like 10% better than the Ford F-150's window, then that's already great for guys that drive trucks. So
I can't wait till I visit you in a couple years and you're driving a Cybertruck.
And my mustache will just be so much bigger. It'll be coming off my face.
You'll have
it'll be like down here.
It'll be digital. It'll be Cyberstash digital.
My mustache will have a mustache.
It'll just
little
be
baby mustaches that it's grown.
It'll be a hologram that's projected from your steering wheel. So it just like as you're driving, like your steering wheel will just project whatever kind of like facial mask you want, so that when you're driving, people can't recognize who you are. That's a cool idea.
Ooh.
Hey, Elon's Musk, implement that.
Cybertruck. I gotta say, the cab of the Cybertruck, the inside of the Cybertruck, it looked interesting. It didn't look as cozy as an F-150's cab, though. So if I was actually to buy, let's say, a Cybertruck, I might be buying Cybertruck 2, not Cybertruck.
I see. The rise of Cybertruck.
Cybertruck's revenge.
The war for Cybertruck.
Yeah, but you know what? We've predicted everything on this show, so I bet you that's actually what's going to happen.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Are you done?
Sure.
This is kind of a gone wild podcast. I don't know what we call those again.
It's okay.
Unhinged?
Our unhinged episodes are way better anyway.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because I have my massage. I'm just feeling unhinged.
Really? You should feel completely hinged.
I'm looking at the time at us, and we've taken a lot of time up. So I am going to skip the Wheel of Scum again.
Okay.
I know it's twice in a week. No, I mean twice in a row, fans. And I'm so sorry you're not getting your weekly dose of the Wheel of Scum. I can't even talk. And I'm sorry. So next week we'll make it up to you, and we'll
play it twice.
and we'll just copy and paste the same segment twice. So you get to listen to it twice.
Yeah. You don't even have to fast. You don't have to rewind it.
We're phoning it in next week. All right. So let's move on to topic number 2. And I'm exactly. Duh.
Topic. Duh.
And I'm going to take over this one. So don't you dare.
All right. So should I?
Don't you dare, sir.
I'm gonna mute my mic.
Matt, what do you think about this topic? Oh, I think it's great. So my topic is, what is my topic? Have you ever played D&D, Dungeons and Dragons?
No, I think I told you this, didn't I?
Yeah, you did tell me this. I was just trying to segue back into it.
Okay, cool. No, I didn't.
Whoa, wow, you should. No, I've actually only played Dungeons and Dragons twice in my life, and it was part of the same campaign, and we all didn't really know what we were doing, and the Dungeon Master was trying to be nice about it, but we were just kind of...
Was the Dungeon Master experienced?
I think so.
Okay.
I think he had dungeon masked before.
He mastered before?
Some dungeons. He had mastered some dungeons before.
Yeah.
I think so. So anyways, there was also like 6 of us, which I think is a lot for like a campaign.
Well, yeah, in Stranger Things, they only had 4 of them.
Yeah, and 3 of them were playing while one was the Dungeon Master. This was 6 of us and then a Dungeon Master, so this was a lot.
Yeah, you doubled.
So the turns, like a lot happens in a turn, and we're fighting. Like we spent like 5 hours in one thing of combat, which I don't think is normal. Like you normally, like I'm pretty sure you normally would do a lot of other stuff, but we had so many questions. We would all play for the first time. So
at any point, did anybody like stand up or stretch or go to the bathroom or get a snack or use their phone in those 5 hours? Or
not that I remember, but maybe.
Whoa.
And then the second time I played, I was webcamming because I had moved to Vancouver at that point. So I was on the webcam like we are now. And I was just kind of like a screen that was there while I was playing, which totally pulled me out of the experience. Was not as good at all. So,
okay.
Yeah, so that one. So anyways, so why I'm bringing this up is because I was at a baby shower recently, and somebody was talking about like a campaign they were watching and stuff. And they were really into playing they play weekly, I guess, part of a campaign.
They were watching it though?
Yeah, and then they were talking about a YouTube show that they watch, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay. So my fiance and I were like, oh, that's kind of cool that people like sit and watch D&D, and like she was asking me some questions about it, and I was like, I know a bit, and I was telling her. But then she's like, is there a YouTube video we could watch to get into D&D? So I'm here to talk about D&D in general, and to people, I've gone through a bit of a journey in the last like week and a half, and changed like some thoughts on the whole game, and it's a really good game. Like it's really interesting because Dungeons and Dragons, anybody who doesn't understand or know, is just like, it's kind of like a modern day video game, but without a console or anything, without any kind of screen or anything like that. All you need is friends. So you need one Dungeon Master.
Friends!
You need one Dungeon Master who's going to kind of be the referee / god of the whole experience and kind of keep everyone in check while they're all trying to simulate this fantasy world that they're going through, right? So the Dungeon Master will tell the people they're in a forest or they're traveling through like the mystical lands of blah, whatever it is, and they will then try to tell the Dungeon Master what they want to do, and then the Dungeon Master will roll dice for it to tell them if they successfully did that thing or if they didn't. And then you just continue on through the game like that, right? And there's hit points and there's leveling up, and it gets fairly in depth, but you can take it really surface level too. So you take it as in depth as you want to. So it's a really interesting game that pulls people out of their shell, and they can kind of simulate just a fantasy world, which is really fun. Mm-hmm. And since there's no board needed or anything like that, then it's easy to pick up and play with a lot of people.
Wait, in Stranger Things, when they played, they actually had a board. Like they were playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? And they had pieces.
Yes, of course, they were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and like the Dungeon Master had like a board that he like put up, so that he's like got all his papers and all the stuff that he had done behind the board. Thing is, all of that is up to you. You can go, like I said, as far out as you want to on that, or you can just have pen and paper and just write down some things if you want to, or you don't have to write down anything at all. I mean, when I was playing, I barely wrote down anything. So, some people go all out. They make tables specifically for D&D, and they get tiles and they design tiles so that people can see like a bit of a visual of what's going on, all that kind of stuff. And they make their own maps and dungeons and everything. So you can go all out if you want to. Other people take graph paper and kind of draw little dungeons on grid patterns like that if they want to. So what we didn't really know what to look at on YouTube to kind of give us like a good breakdown of it. And we came across what most people know for Dungeons & Dragons. Now, keep in mind, I'm still so new to all this kind of stuff, so I'm going to speak about other things without really knowing what they are. But there's a show that's really popular called Critical Role on YouTube. And Critical Role is a bunch of people that get together and they play Dungeons & Dragons and they film the whole thing. They film the whole campaign. And they live stream it on Twitch and then they put it up on YouTube. And it's got really popular. And it's a bunch of voice actors from video games. In fact, Ellie from The Last of Us is actually in it. I was watching it. I was like, oh, that's Ellie. And I don't know the other voice actors very well, but I'm sure they're fairly popular in video games. So they actually have a lot of fun with it. We watched one video, but they're 4 hours long, so they're quite long.
I was gonna say, like, if they stream the whole thing and post it all up, then it's gonna be a long video. Unless they break it up sometimes.
They do take breaks, so you can. What we did is we didn't watch the whole 4 hours in one go. We kind of kept coming back to it. But yeah, no, it was actually pretty entertaining. I'm kind of shocked, but it was pretty entertaining. Like the voice actors get really into it and they like totally get into these voices and these characters. And like you start to like not watch the screen anymore. Like your mind is kind of making up all the stuff. And it's really interesting. Like you've got this really cool picture of what they're doing and stuff. And I found it oddly entertaining, like way more than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So anybody who's slightly interested in D&D and maybe they're too afraid to like find some friends and join a game yet, just watch this Critical Role show. And I suggest start with season 2. That's what we did, because it's a whole new campaign. And it was pretty easy to pick up and just like be like, oh, that's how you play. Like they like showed you everything right away. So it was really cool. But then we found something called Harmon Quest. Have you ever heard of Harmon Quest?
I've never heard of that whatsoever.
So Harmon Quest, and this is harking back to an older version of the Scumm Bar Podcast. Remember I talked about Dan Harmon?
Yeah.
And his writing technique?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
He created a TV show that I did not know about called Harmon Quest, where he gets a bunch of friends together and they improvise on like at a table in front of a live studio audience, and they do D&D on the screen. So what they do is they just do a whole campaign of D&D for half an hour each episode. And on top of that, he gets the animators from Rick and Morty to come in and like animate half the campaign for you. So you can watch the campaign while they're doing this whole thing. So it's really, really funny. And that was probably the easiest way for us to get into this whole D&D experience, was just watching Harmon Quest. So anybody out there who's curious about Final Fantasy, anybody who's curious about Dungeons & Dragons.
Well, if you're curious about Final Fantasy too, feel free to look it up.
Good point. If you're curious about Dungeons & Dragons, I would actually suggest maybe go to Harmon Quest first, because it's even easier to watch than Critical Role. It's like one of the funniest things I've seen. So Harmon Quest is good, but one thing that makes this really good is I honestly think this is kind of like a modern day Whose Line Is It Anyways? And to further back that theory, do you remember the guest stars on Whose Line Is It Anyways? Like the guys that would be the guests? Do you remember Jeff Davis?
Yes.
He's one of the guys on Harmon Quest.
Like, he's a regular.
He's a regular on Harmon Quest, and he's hilarious. He's amazing.
Cool.
So it's him and Dan Harmon and this other girl. And the three of them are every single episode, it's them. And then they bring on a guest star every single episode to come in and join in their campaign. Wow. So it's really funny because in the middle of their adventure, somebody just kind of jumps in and hops in. And weirdly enough, it actually reminds me of our pirate adventure game that we play on the Scumm Bar podcast, in the Wheel of Scum. It's a lot like that. But it's just like these four people kind of improvising on stage. It's very, very funny.
And the way we do it is probably really not funny at all to other people, but just to us.
Yeah, but Harmon Quest is definitely funny. I suggest like find a clip online or something so you can kind of get the concept of it, and then watch the show because it's really good. I actually don't know where you can find the show. There's a few different places because it's on a different network, so I had to kind of like find my way to get to the show. And
network
I won't say much more than that, but I had to find my own way to get to the show. But there is.
I already like this name. So Spencer Crittenden is Game Master. Jeff.
Yeah, he's
Davis
the guy doing the thing. Yeah.
Bone Weevil.
Bone Weevil's Jeff Davis. Yeah, it's so good.
Aaron McGathy is BRO Shift.
Yeah, BRO Shift.
And then Dan Harmon is Fondue Zubag.
Fondue Zubag, yeah. Oh my gosh. So the funny thing is, I've gone through now all 3 seasons with my fiance. We just watched it in like a week. It was so easy to watch. It was one of the funniest things I've seen. Like, I haven't laughed out loud to a show in so long, and I was laughing so hard to this.
I'm looking forward to this. This is great.
So if you can find episode 1, like you don't want to get spoiled either, because it is like a full-on show. But if you can find episode 1, I'm telling you, this is like my new format. I love it. So
is every episode like 20 to 30 minutes, like those kind of episodes?
Yeah, I think they're all under 30.
Okay, cool. Ooh.
Yeah, it's quick, it's easy, and it's, like I said, it's like a new Whose Lines It Anyways. And I'm dying, since Jeff Davis is on it, I'm dying to get Colin Mockery or Ryan Stiles on this.
Can you imagine? Wow.
I don't know if they ever will, but if Jeff could get some pull and somehow get them on, that would be so funny.
I was just going to say, imagine if on Whose Line Is It Anyway, they did something where all 4 of them did some sort of role-playing thing, improvised. And I realized that is the premise of the whole show.
That's literally, that's what the whole show is, yeah.
Literally the show. Yeah.
But,
you know,
if you like Silicon...
Davis,
sorry. Go ahead.
Well, he was one of the guest stars that came in, I guess, in more of the recent series, the one where... or the recent seasons where it was Aisha Tyler that was
I've seen a bit of that, yeah,
emceeing or hosting, because before I don't think he was ever on it when Drew Carey was a host, but
I thought he was. Maybe he wasn't, but I thought he was.
I don't think he was. I didn't recognize him from back then.
Okay.
And I what I find, like, it's really interesting when you see him on the show when Colin Mockery, Ryan Stiles, and
he totally
and even Wayne
was.
Brady and are still. Oh, he was?
Yeah, I just checked it up. He was actually in the Drew Carey show too.
What?
Yeah, he played like 2 different characters, but I don't know how young he was. But yeah, he was definitely on the show back then.
He seems so young, but anyway, I just find it interesting that his
he's born in the 70s, 73.
Okay. He's definitely got a very
young
different
face.
humor. Well, young face, but his comedic style is very different from the rest of theirs. I feel like over time, even though like individually you can tell who they are, like Colin Mockery and Ryan Stiles, they definitely have their own styles. Haha.
Yeah, they make a mockery out of it too.
Sing alley-oop.
You knock him up and I set him away.
Out of here, away from us. But yeah, like I guess over time they definitely have a way of, you can tell that they synergize with each other so well, and I always kind of felt like Jeff Davis he stuck out a little bit. It could just be because of his style, or maybe I was just biased towards my OG Whose Line Is It Anyway American actors.
Well, he's good with Wayne Brady. I thought him and Wayne Brady were a good pair.
Oh yeah, because he's
physical comedy.
too.
They're really good at the physical comedy like that.
That's right.
And Colin and Ryan are so good at narrative comedy. They're really good at like they're just, oh man, they don't necessarily need. I mean, Colin is quite a physical actor. Yeah. But Colin and Ryan are so good at just creating a scene with just dialogue that's hilarious, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so good.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, back to Harmon Quest. I'm really looking forward to this.
You're gonna love it. Jeff Davis is a different humor altogether than Dan Harmon. So I really like Dan Harmon's writing, as I already mentioned on the podcast. And the whole technique I talked about on the podcast where I was like naming all the steps and everything, he literally goes through that in this show. So if you're remembering those steps and you go through all of Harmon Quest as it is, just think about those steps, because he's pretty much just doing his own writing technique to this whole show anyways. And you can see it because since it's improvised, the other actors are trying to kind of make it funny, right? They're trying to get the best line they can. Well, Dan is always trying to make it the best show he can. It's so different. So they will try to say something funny in the moment. He's trying to say something that's going to build his character arc to make it like come to fruition by the end of the episode. It's really interesting.
Cool.
For example, other characters might try to pull out their sword and do some funny like line as they go to stab a demon. Yeah. While Dan might say, I run away. And then just like literally runs away from the scene. Because it builds his character. It shows that he's a coward or something, right? Like he might just do something random like that because he finds it like interesting and funny. It's really cool. I like it.
So okay, if you were on this show, what would your name be?
I don't know. I think it really depends on like where they would put me in the show. But yeah, everyone has ridiculous names, so I'd probably be like something really ridiculous. I try to find some kind of like regular thing. Like I'm just looking at a water bottle right now, so I would probably try to make my name Water Bottle, but without it being water bottle. It'd be like water. No, it'd be like what and then like my last name be like Erbottle or something. Like, I'd find a way to make my name like something ridiculous like that, so it just becomes like a regular household object.
Agua container.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I would be Gandalf because that's what I don't know if you remember. So this is my friend's reference. I don't know if you remember the episode where Chandler and Ross's friend. I can't remember what his actual name was, but they called him Gandalf, and he was coming into town.
Oh yeah, Gandalf's coming to town. I
Gandalf's
remember
coming
that.
to town, and like Ross had like stupid Canadian money or something like that. He went to buy Canadian money in case they like went to Canada or something.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So Joey, I think he was like talking about like, I thought you were gonna hang out with your friend Gandalf or something. Like that. You couldn't even get the name Gandalf and made it longer, more complicated. But anyway, I like that name, Gandalf. So that's who I would be.
That's a good name. Yeah. You know what? That would be welcomed on the show.
Cool. Great.
So that's really all I wanted to say. That's the rabbit hole I went down this last little week. I thought it was really interesting. In about a week, I've like been super D&D'd out. I've just like gone through it all. But it ended with me thinking, wow, here's a whole new show I had never heard of called Harmon Quest, and it's amazing. Like I already like Dan Harmon, I just never heard of the show, and it's amazing, totally worth it, and I love it, and I think more people need to watch this show. It's awesome.
Harmon Quest. Nice.
Exactly.
Got it.
Oh yeah, the theme song's really good too. It's just Harmon Quest. Harmon Quest. It just keeps doing that. I love it.
Perfect.
Harmon Quest. It just gets louder with drums. Doom, 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 doom. Such a funny
Great.
show. Anyways,
right.
That's my 2 cents. Thank you for listening to me and my crazy banter about Dungeons and Dragons. There's so much more to talk about with Dungeons and Dragons. I just don't know it because I don't know enough about it. So maybe later in life I'll play the game and then I'll have more to say about it. But that's what I got for now.
Cool. All right.
Anth0z.
Maybe.
What?
What I was
you
gonna
gonna
say,
say?
like one episode, one day it's just gonna be a Dungeons and Dragons episode. Like we won't even like podcast. We'll just stream our game.
A very Scumbarian podcast? No.
Yeah.
What? That doesn't. A very Scumbarian D&D campaign?
Scumgens and
Scraggins.
Podgons. Dragcasts.
Scumgens and Dragcasts. Maybe. We might name it that.
We'll make
we
it
might
happen.
not name it that.
Hashtag. I'm writing this down. Hashtag Scumgen.
Scumgen. Troll in the Scumgen.
Dragcasts.
I thought you wanted to know.
Did I do that right? Yeah. Oh, whatever. Anyway, cool.
Anth0z, where can the audience find you?
Well, if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Anth0z1. That's ANTH0Z1.
And if you want to find this guy, you can find me at Mattbrush Gaming at Twitter. You can also find this podcast in video format. I don't know why I'm shouting.
You can find this episode specifically after last episode.
You can find this episode
before
this episode in video format. It's got the audio, but it's got a video, so it's got a video visualizer, and it's on YouTube at Mattbrush Gaming as well. Just search up the Scumm Bar Podcast. Wow. And if you want to listen to an audio form just like a normal human being, a human form, you would listen to it on Podbean. Maybe you'd listen to it on Stitcher. Maybe you would go to Spotify, and you may go to iTunes. You also might go to Facebook, but it's not there. So then you would have to leave Facebook and go somewhere else that it is on, such as YouTube. And other things. Yeah. So do that. Also, don't be afraid to leave us a like. Don't be afraid to give us 5 stars if there's a star option. Don't be afraid to give us a thumbs up if there's a thumbs up option.
And in fact, don't even think about not being afraid. Just be confident in doing all of those things.
Yeah, I want to see a very smug thumbs up.
Yeah, just like it hard.
And then give us
comments.
I want to see some confident comments, Be like, I woke up this morning and didn't even do my hair. Yeah, that's a comment I want to receive.
Or like, I didn't even wake up this morning. That's confident.
I stayed sleeping. Here I am in bed. I'm writing this from my phone. I want comments like that. Please leave a comment on our video. Let us know what you think. If you want to see more of me and less of Anth0z, I'd love to get that comment. Just let me know. And
I really need to know if that's the truth, because then I will tone down myself as best as I can.
If you want to hear more about us rambling about Star Wars, then let us know. We need to know these things, so let us know. Give us a comment.
More Star Wars.
Yeah. It's just going to be you
Star
making
Wars.
fake accounts and just saying more Star Wars. And also, if you want to write us a novel or an essay or a short story or anything you want us to read on air, please email us at Scumm Bar Podcast. And if we deem it worthy, we will definitely read it on air. If it's
whole
worthy.
thing.
Yes, I would love a short story about anything. You know, make me cry. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Something super moving and emotional. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that can kind of be our replacement for the Wheel of Scum. We could just read
cry.
snippets of
Reader
the essay.
mail.
Or sure, yeah, it could be called Make Mattbrush Cry.
Make me cry. It can also be cry laughing, so if you make me laugh enough, I might cry.
Yeah.
So make me cry.
Make me cry.
Yeah. Make me cry. Anyways, I think that's all I gotta say. Do you have anything to say? You probably have something to say. Ooh, that was good. Do you have more?
Well, I'm probably pretty good.
Huh. Okay. Well then, let's just chant our Scoutmaster leader song. I hereby solemnly promise, as a Scoutmaster leader song, that I will always, when looking at trees, keep my nose to the north wind.
And I vow to scum as much as possible on a nightly basis.
And to pod our casts as the crow flies. Alright, that's it. Good night, everybody. Good night. Just turn the Kermit the Frog at the end of these